What's up YouTube, it's your boy Greezy, and today we're going to be going over how to play Zofia Guide. I want to go over Zofia as well, especially because the operator I have been playing a lot more recently. When I first got her, I did play her a lot as well because I did like how much she brought to the table. Because when I first got it was about, I first started playing the game in Parabellum. So I got her, I think about 2 months later. The next season that dropped was Grim Sky. And back then she actually had a lot of utility. So she does a lot now, but back then she had like, I believe it was four impacts and 3 concussions when I started playing, which was insane. So she did end up getting a couple nerfs. She got down to 3 and 3. Now she's at 2 and 2. But she does get 2 impact grenades and 2 pretty much Grismont mines. They're not really concussions, they're actually Grismont mines, I would call them. Because that's exactly what they are. They do the same things what Ella's do. You just don't pre-place them, then they go off for the proximity. You shoot them. So if there is somebody nearby in the vicinity of the area, it will go off. If not, it'll just go off after, I believe it's like a 3 second timer. They'll go off again. So if anyone ends up being in the area, or if it didn't see them for some reason, like they weren't close enough to it for it to go off, it'll still essentially stun them and give them that Grismon effect where you have like that spinning, the screen goes all blurry. But that's also really good to play because with impact grenades, it's a very utility heavy operator. So like what I want to talk about is being utility smart. Now what I mean by being utility smart is when you're playing with Zofia, you want to go through and see what the other team has brought to the table. So see what the defense has, if they have maybe some Maestro cams, if they have any Goyo shields, or even in this upcoming season of Still Wave, if Malusi comes out on the table, you want to make sure you have as much as you can to deal with all of that utility. Because it is going to be a very utility heavy next season. With Malusi coming out, the proximity mines that'll be coming. But you want to make sure you can deal with those. Because with Malusi, the Banshee she'll have are going to be bulletproof. You can't shoot them. And if you want to try and get close to them, it's not going to be the smartest idea because they're kind of like a lesion mine, but you don't get damaged, but it's going to make this really deep, loud bass sound, so everyone's going to know you're next to one. And so having Zofia on the board is going to be a great way to try and counter that, or at least get rid of them so you have a better chance when you're playing the round. So you want to go through and be utility smart. Make sure you drone out, have your team coordinate with you, or if you're just solo queuing or duo queuing, you and your buddy can go around and see what you can get done. Because that's how I like to play a lot, especially if I'm in a duo queue with my buddy, when I'm on Xbox with him, or if I'm playing with a buddy on PC once in my brother. I'll play with Zofia, that way you can try and clear utility as a team. Or if I'm just solo queuing, I want to make sure I have the best chance possible. Because her gun is incredible. Its fire rate is really high. It's one of the top attacker guns on the game. And it has a lot of damage it puts out. And the recoil pattern is kind of misleading. I mean, it looks like it's very vertical. It really isn't all that vertical. I play on 5.4, I bring hollow, I run angle grip and comp, and there's almost no vertical recoil. It's nothing like a buck or using SMG11. It's going to be very easy to control. If you want to put the vertical grip on it, do as well. I like to play a little more aggressive, so I run the angle grip, but the vertical is really good to use as well. That'll even cut that even more. So you'll see like the red will be right here, and then the orange, yellow, and then green's a little bit lower. And it'll do a lot of help. I like to compensate switch from a little bit more side to side because there isn't a whole lot of vertical recoil to worry about. But it's a very easy gun to use. It's very nice. And so I like to play it just because of that, and also the utility you can bring. And I always tell my friends when I play online, if we're playing in a stack, if they like to run Ash a lot or they feel like they're an Ash main, I always suggest next time grab Zofia. Just watch how much more you might be able to get done, or how much more you might like playing this operator. Because you can do a lot of the same things Ash does with making sure you have the 2 breaching rounds, but these are the impact grenades, so they're quicker and they're a little more silent. So if you are trying to maybe pull off a quicker rush or open up a wall, like if you drone in, say they're behind a castle, you can do that, shoot this, and it's going to open not overly quiet, but it's going to be a lot quieter than an Ash round. And then you're going to be right there ready to go take the gunfight as you go. But it's definitely a great solo duo queue operator. And if you're in a stack, it's even better. Like you can watch Pro League or Challenger League, you're always going to see Zofia on the board. You can almost never see a round where she's not an operator they've picked because of what she brings to the table and how good she is. But also like to see, make sure you stay utility smart. So if you're looking through like for Maestro Cam, so say if you're on like Consulate and you're trying to push the garage downstairs, you can go into piano, you can open up a couple lines of sight so you can see for rotates that are common places for defenders to sit, or even be able just to see where there might be a shield, a Goyo, or even a maestro turret, so you can get rid of that. So you want to make sure you be utility smart. Use it to the best of your ability to try and get rid of utility to make it an easier push for your team, or just so you're not so worried about later on in the round. So say if it like gets down to the last 40 seconds of the round, that you're not having to deal with a ton of legion mines, a maestro turret, barbed wire, and trying to get a plant off at the same time. So it can really help you out and make sure you open up lines of sight. I always bring breaching charges on her loadout almost every time I play her. This is a once in a while I'll bring a claymore if we're on certain maps, but I'll almost always bring breaching charges just so you can also open up a few more lines of sight and get better angles to play. But you definitely want to be really utility smart with Zofia when you go through and play. Incredible operator, and make sure you be smart with what you're doing. So when you go through, you want to make sure you open up a good line of sight. So say if you are in, like we saw in garage, go over by piano and right in the door, put a breaching charge right on the tile and the wood on that connector. Blow a hole. You can see right behind white van. Then you'll also be able to see the rotate that comes through that wall in the kitchen into the right behind white van into garage. That way you can see if there's anyone rotating, if there's someone sitting there, and then also you'll be able to see if they put a very common maestro cam that sits behind the white van's back tire. There's almost always a maestro cam there, so you'll be able to see that, and that way you can get rid of it so you have a better chance of getting a plant off as well in front of white van by the garage in that round. But you also can open a few different lines. So I'll show a couple angles here when I get onto the map. I'll go into custom game and show you some lines that I open up. But you want to definitely just make sure you use it to the best ability. Don't be stupid with drones. Like when you take a drone early in the round, hold on to it. And try and stay alive as long as possible with Zofia as well, so that way you can use her utility and help your team out as much as possible. That's what I like to do. So I always hold on to both my drones. If I can maybe spot a site, like if they are on console, I go down to the garage. If they're there, I'll just drone it real quick to see the bomb. I'll take it back up to my spawn, or keep it away outside. That way it doesn't get shot. That way I still have both my drones to find utilities, see if I can find some operators, and try and get myself some easy kills, or freebies as some people call them, with her utility. But I'll go ahead and I'll jump on that custom game for you right now so we can go over that. And also, I want to go over, it is a good time to go over her elite. They did just drop, so if you do, people ought to like to play Zofia, but she doesn't have a lot of skins you can use. Like you'll see here, she doesn't really have very many skins to choose from that are all that different. Like there's her default, and these are some skins that came out. They're almost identical to it. So she did just get her elite that dropped a week ago from when this video got released, I believe. But that's what it's look like. It's a very nice skin. I like it. The animation's actually pretty cool as well. I had the legendary skin though, so I kind of go back and forth now since I have it. But I really got it just because of those gun skins. But it did just drop the other day. But go ahead and I'll get in that custom. Alright, so yeah, here we are on the map of conflict, kind of like I mentioned just a minute ago when you're going over the loadouts. This is where I like to play her a lot, especially when you're on this map. So we'll kind of do what I was going over when they're down in basement in garage. What you can come over and do, and you can bring a breaching charge, and you can place it right here. You see these squares. So if you look, you'll see there's two different squares. If you put it right over top of these two, wrong button, put it right here. What this will do is open up right into that, so you can see the doorway between sites and kitchen. Then also, if you want to play, you can play over here in the bathroom as well, and you can see the rotate. Most teams will put a rotate at a very common place, so you can watch that as well. So say if your team is trying to come over and plant on white, down underneath here. So that's a very common place people will plant. There's the white van. You either plant right there, or you're going to plant right below on the floor there. And that way you can watch. If you want to play here and watch, see, they're going to rotate through there. Or you can also sit and watch the rotate so they don't try and get the kill. Then also I'll come over and I'll put a breaching charge right here. Normally. Right there. So it covers that. And then I'll open up right behind white van, so you can watch that platform as well. So you also get another angle on the rotate. Or you can even put one over here. This is another place I like to put one right here on the floor. Actually about right here more. Right in line with the door frame. Because that'll open up so you can see. You'll be able to see someone sitting right here. Then the perfect site, that'll be about right there where the hole will open up. And then you can see someone sitting here. You'll see if they have a shield, because a lot of times you'll see people put a shield up on this box. And you'll also be able to see right over into about right here as well. So if someone's trying to sit and play pipes, like the smokes behind the shield. That way you'll be able to get rid of that. That'll help you out. That way you can get rid of that shield. So you open that up. We'll kind of imagine we're going to pretend like I open that up right now. So I'm not going to keep putting all these breaching charges down. But you open that up. That way you can see that shield. So if you need to get rid of it, you'll be able to take your impact, shoot, get rid of it. And then if you open up right here, you'll open up enough sight that you'll see right behind white van. And then there's usually a really common spot people put. Let's see. Yeah, so normally there's also another really common spot because white van's right there. A lot of times you'll see a maestro cam get put right there, so they can look underneath the van to see if anyone's coming or if you're going to plant. And that way you can open that up with the breaching charge, and then you can take your impact and take it out. That way there's no maestro cam there, so they can't try and stop the plant with just the maestro cam. They're going to have to move, and that's why you also open this up. So once that maestro has to move, you'll have an angle to watch, or if they have a rotate through there, you'll be able to see. And then you can also come over and sit and wait for them to push the rotate as well, so you get a nice easy kill. But yeah, see, with Zofia though, you really want to make sure you stay creative with what you're doing. Make sure you do what you can as much as you can. That way you can use as much of it to burn utility for your team to make it an easier round. Because with Rainbow Six, it's all about trying to get the easy frags or the kills that are good for you. So you want to be smart. Say if they're upstairs this time, you get this cleared out, you come in here so you can go underneath, and say there's someone sitting over in that little cubby right here by the desk and CEO, right on the hatch. You can come over and you can literally just open it up, and you have a nice easy kill for whoever's sitting back in this little cubby. Or even if you didn't do that, if you don't get the kill, you flush them out now. So now whoever's sitting up on the windows gets a nice easy frag, or if someone maybe was up on skylight opening that up, when they flush out because you open that, you're going to give them an easy kill as well. And you can do the same thing over here. So say if they're up here in upstairs again, then they're in meeting, you want to open up meeting, you can walk over and you can open up right behind. And so usually a lot of people are going to sit behind the desk that's right here in the middle of the room. And the common spot is right over here by the wall. You open that up and you're able to get whoever's sitting behind the desk or that little chair area. There's like a desk that lays flat, and you open that up, and it's a very common spot for people to sit usually in the room right there, and you will open that up. And then if you need to, so if your team's pushing in and they want to push in through the window, you can walk over, stun it, that way you get rid of the player there, and your team can either jump in, or if they need to rotate, you're helping make it a little bit easier. But that should about do it for Zofia. If you have maybe any maps you want me to go over, give you some better lines of sight and some other maps that you feel could be useful for you, have any questions about, let me know down in the comments below. If you'd like to see me go over, let me know as well. I have a list I'm going to be going over here as I go through some more videos. But if you'd like to see sooner than later, or if you have maybe get it jump to the top of the page so we can go over them sooner, let me know down in the comments below. If you aren't subscribed, hit that subscribe button though. And again, keep it easy. It's breezy. It's your boy Greezy.